The world today feels like it's moving at breakneck speed. Every time you glance at your phone, there's a new notification, a new crisis, or a new trend. It's easy to feel like you're drowning in the noise, overwhelmed by the sheer volume of things demanding your attention. Add to that the personal challenges we all face, whether it's work, relationships, or health, and you might start wondering how anyone can maintain peace of mind in this chaos. But here's the truth. Peace doesn't come from the world outside. It comes from within. And the wisdom to achieve that inner peace isn't something new. It's ancient. It's proven. It's Stoicism. Today, we're going to explore the teachings of three Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, and discover why their insights are not only timeless, but also exactly what we need in 2025. Let's begin with Marcus Aurelius. Imagine this. You're the emperor of Rome, the most powerful man in the world. But your reign is anything but easy. You're constantly at war. A devastating plague is sweeping through your empire. People you trust betray you. Your personal life is filled with loss and grief. Yet despite all this, you manage to write some of the most profound reflections on life, wisdom, and resilience. Marcus Aurelius didn't have the luxury of peace and quiet. He didn't retreat from the world's problems. He faced them head-on, and through it all, he reminded himself, and now us, the real battlefield isn't out there. It's in here. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Think about those words. They're not just advice, they're a blueprint for living. In your own life, how often do you let outside events dictate your mood, your focus, your peace? Maybe someone cuts you off in traffic and it ruins your morning. Maybe a critical comment from a coworker lingers in your mind all day. Or maybe it's something bigger, the economy, politics, the state of the planet. These things might feel overwhelming, but Marcus's wisdom is clear. They only have power over you if you give it to them. Let me ask you something. What would your life look like if you truly focused only on what you can control? If you stopped pouring energy into things that are beyond your reach? Imagine the freedom, the clarity, the strength you'd feel. That's the gift Marcus Aurelius is offering. And it starts with a simple practice. When something troubles you, pause and ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. If the answer is yes, then take action. This isn't just a mental exercise, it's a way of life. But how do you build the kind of discipline that Marcus had? How do you train your mind to stay focused and composed when the world is throwing curveballs at you? That's where Epictetus comes in. Epictetus didn't start life as a philosopher. He started as a slave. Imagine that. Having no control over your external circumstances, living at the mercy of others. And yet, Epictetus discovered a freedom that no one could take from him. We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them, he said. Let's break that down. Epictetus is saying that it's not the challenges we face that cause us pain. It's how we interpret them. Think about a time when something went wrong in your life. Maybe you lost a job, ended a relationship, or faced a setback. The event itself was real, but what made it painful was the story you told yourself about it. Maybe you told yourself you weren't good enough, or that you'd never recover, or that life was unfair. That story, not the event, is what caused your suffering. Epictetus teaches us that we have the power to change the story, and by changing the story, we change how we experience life. This is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice. Start small. The next time something annoys you, a delayed flight, a rude comment, a stressful deadline, pause. Before reacting, ask yourself, what's the story I'm telling myself about this? Then challenge it, reframe it. Instead of thinking, this is terrible, try thinking, this is a chance to practice patience. This might sound simple, but don't underestimate its power. Over time, this practice builds resilience. It creates a mental toughness that allows you to face life's challenges with calm and clarity. And in 2025, with all the uncertainty and change we're navigating, that kind of mental toughness isn't just helpful, it's essential. Now let's turn to Seneca, the philosopher who reminds us to live fully and deliberately. Seneca wasn't just a thinker, he was a man of action, a statesman, an advisor, and a writer. His life was filled with successes and setbacks, and through it all, he maintained a deep awareness of life's fragility. "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it," he said. Let's be honest. How much of your time do you waste? How many hours do you spend scrolling through social media, comparing yourself to others, or worrying about things that never actually happen? How often do you postpone the things that matter, spending time with loved ones, pursuing a dream, or simply savoring the moment because you're too busy? Seneca's words are a wake-up call. Life is fleeting, and none of us knows how much time we have. But instead of letting that thought scare you, let it motivate you. What if you started treating your time like the precious resource it is? What if you stopped wasting it on things that don't matter and started investing it in what truly does? Here's a practice you can try. At the end of each day, reflect on how you spent your time. Ask yourself, did I use my time in a way that aligns with my values? If the answer is no, don't beat yourself up. Use it as a lesson for tomorrow. Over time, this practice will help you live more intentionally. Seneca also reminds us of the power of gratitude. When we focus on what we have instead of what we lack, we shift our entire perspective. Gratitude isn't just a feel-good exercise. It's a mindset that changes how we see the world. It helps us find joy in the little things. Kind word, a beautiful sunset, the warmth of a hug. And in a world that's constantly pushing us to want more, do more, be more, gratitude is a way to step back and say, I have enough. I am enough. So how do we bring all of this together? How do we take these timeless teachings and turn them into a way of life? Start small. Control your mornings. Before you dive into the chaos of the day, take a few minutes to reflect. What's within your control today? What are your intentions? Starting your day with this kind of clarity can change everything. Next, challenge yourself daily. Adopt a practice of voluntary discomfort. Maybe it's skipping your morning coffee. Maybe it's taking a cold shower. Maybe it's choosing to walk instead of drive. These small challenges build resilience. They remind you that you're stronger than you think. Finally, end your day with gratitude. Before you go to bed, write down 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be big. The goal is to train your mind to focus on the positive, no matter what kind of day you've had. In 2025, the world will keep moving. Challenges will keep coming. But you don't have to be swept away by the current. You have the tools to stay grounded, to find peace, to live with purpose. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca showed us the way. Now it's up to you to follow it. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Choose thoughts that empower you. Choose thoughts that guide you toward the life you want to live. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy. It's a way of thriving in any era, including ours. So take this wisdom and make it your own. You are stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you realize. Let the Stoics remind you of that. And let their wisdom guide you to a life of peace, purpose, and power.